Hello, we're back. We are at Tablet 5, The Dweller of Unal. Oft dream I of buried Atlantis, lost in the ages that have passed into night. Eon on eon thou existed in beauty, a light shining through the darkness of night. Mighty in power, ruling the earthborn, lord of the earth in Atlantis' day. King of the nations, master of wisdom, light through Suntal, keeper of the way, dwelt in his temple, the master of Unal. Light of the earth in Atlantis' day. Master he from a cycle beyond us, living in bodies as one among men. Not as the earthborn he from beyond us, son of a cycle advanced beyond men. Know ye, O man, that Orlit, the master, was never one with the children of men. Far in the past time, when Atlantis first grew as a power, appeared there one with the key of wisdom, showing the way of light to all. Showed he to all men the path of attainment, way of the light that flows among men, mastering darkness, leading the man's soul upward to heights that were one with the light. Divided the kingdoms, he, into sections. 10 were they, ruled by the children of men. Upon another built he a temple, built but not by the children of men. Out of the ether called he its substance, molded and formed by the power of Tolan. Into the forms he built with his mind. Mile upon mile it covered the island, space upon space it grew in its might. Black, yet not black, but dark like the space-time. Deep in its heart, the essence of light. Swiftly the temple grew into being, molded and shaped by the word of the dweller, called from the formless into a form. Built he then within it great chambers, filled them with forms called forth from the ether, filled them with wisdom called forth by his mind. Formless was he within his temple, yet was he formed in the image of men, dwelling among them, yet not of them. Strange and far different was he from the children of men. Chose he then from among the people 3, who became his gateway. Chose he the 3 from the highest to become his links with Atlantis. Messengers they who carried his counsel to the kings of the children of men. Brought he forth others and taught them wisdom, teachers they to the children of men. Placed he them on the island of Unal to stand as teachers of light to men. Each of those who were thus chosen taught must he be for years 5 and 10. Only thus could he have understanding, to bring light to the children of men. Thus there came into being the temple, a dwelling place for the master of men. I, Thoth, have ever sought wisdom, searching in darkness and searching in light. Long in my youth I traveled the pathway, seeking ever new knowledge to gain, until after much striving, one of the 3 to me brought the light. Brought he to me the commands of the dweller, called me from the darkness into the light. Brought he me before the dweller, deep in the temple before the great fire. There, on the great throne, beheld I the dweller, clothed with the light and flashing with fire. Down I knelt before that great wisdom, feeling the light flowing through me in waves. Heard I then the voice of the dweller. O darkness, come into the light. Long have ye sought on the pathway to light. Each soul on earth that loosens its fetters shall soon be made free from the bondage of night. Forth from the darkness have ye arisen, closer approach the light of your goal. Here ye shall dwell as one of my children, keeper of records gathered by wisdom, instrument thou of the light from beyond, ready Be thou made to do what is needed. Preserver of wisdom through the ages of darkness that shall come fast on the children of men. Live thee here and drink of all wisdom. Secrets and mysteries unto thee shall unveil. Then answered I, the master of cycles, saying, O light that descended to men, give thou to me of thy wisdom, that I might be a teacher of men. Give thou of thy light, that I may be free. Spoke then to me again the master. Age after age shall ye live through your wisdom. I, when o'er Atlantis the ocean waves roll, holding the light, though hidden in darkness, ready to come whene'er thou shalt call. Go thee now and learn greater wisdom. Grow thou through light to infinity's all. Long then dwelt I in the temple of the dweller, until at last I was one with the light. Followed I then the path to the star plains. Followed I then the pathway to light. Deep into earth's heart I followed the pathway, learning the secrets below as above. Learning the pathway to the halls of Amenti, learning the law that balances the world. To earth's hidden chambers pierced I by my wisdom, deep through the earth's crust, into the pathway hidden for ages from the children of men, unveiled before me ever more wisdom until I reached a new knowledge, found that all is part of an all, great and yet greater than all that we know. Searched I infinity's heart through all the ages, deep and yet deeper, more mysteries I found. Now, as I look back through the ages, know I that wisdom is boundless, ever grown greater throughout the ages, one with infinities greater than all. Light there was in ancient Atlantis, yet darkness too was hidden in all. Fell from the light into the darkness some who had risen to heights among men. Proud they became because of their knowledge. Proud were they of their place among men. Deep delved they into the forbidden, opened the gateway that led to below. Sought they to gain ever more knowledge, but seeking to bring it up from below. He who descends below must have balance, else he is bound by lack of our light. Opened they then, by their knowledge, pathways forbidden to man. But in his temple, all-seeing the dweller lay in his aguanti, while through Atlantis his soul roamed free. Saw he the Atlanteans by their magic opening the gateway that would bring to earth a great woe. Fast fled his soul then back to his body. Up he arose from his aguanti, called he the three mighty messengers, gave the commands that shattered the world. Deep neath earth's crust to the halls of Amenti, swiftly descended the dweller. Called he then on the powers the seven lords wielded, changed the earth's balance. Down sank Atlantis beneath the dark waves, shattered the gateway that heaven opened, shattered the doorway that led down below. All of the islands were shattered except Unal, and part of the island of the sons of the dweller. Preserved he them to be the teachers, lights on the path for those to come after, lights for the lesser children of men. Called he then I Thoth before him, gave me commands for all I should do, saying, Take thou, O Thoth, all of your wisdom, take all your records, take all your magic. Go thou forth as a teacher of men. Go thou forth preserving the records until in time light grows among men. Light shalt thou be all through the ages, hidden yet found by enlightened men. Over all earth give we ye power, free thou to give or take it away. Gather now the sons of Atlantis, take them and flee to the people of the rock caves. Fly to the land of the children of Chem, or Chem. It's Khem, so Chem. Then gathered I the sons of Atlantis. Into the spaceship I brought all my records, brought the records of sunken Atlantis. Gathered I all of my powers, instruments many of mighty magic. Up then we rose on wings of the morning. High we arose above the temple, leaving behind the three and dweller, deep in the halls neath the temple, closing the pathway to the lords of the cycles. Yet ever to him who has knowing, open shall be the path to Amenti. Fast fled we then on the wings of the morning, fled to the land of the children of Chem. There, by my power, I conquered and ruled them, raised I to light the children of Chem. Deep neath the rocks I buried my spaceship, waiting the time when man might be free. Over the spaceship erected a marker in the form of a lion, yet like unto man. There neath the image rests yet my spaceship, forth to be brought when need shall arise. Know ye, O man, that far in the future invaders shall come from out of the deep. Then awake, ye who have wisdom, bring forth my ship and conquer with ease. Deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone, each the gateway that leads into life. Follow the key I leave behind me. Seek, and the doorway to life shall be thine. Seek thou in my pyramid, deep in the passage that ends in a wall. Use thou the key of the seven, and open to thee the pathway will fall. Now unto thee I have given my wisdom. Now unto thee I have given my way. Follow the pathway, solve thou my secrets. Unto thee I have shown the way. So yeah, that was a long one. And it was, okay. So this one has been plaguing me, right? For a couple days, I've been thinking about doing this video and just how I'm gonna explain the dweller. And to people who've never read the tablets or this is their first time hearing it, at first it's weird, it's off-putting, right? What is this mysterious creature thing? But we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna give you my theory anyway. Okay, so it starts out really dreamy. Oft I dream of buried Atlantis, lost in the ages that have passed into night. Eon on eon thou existed in beauty, a light shining through the darkness of night. And that was the last age, the last, breath of Brahma or whatever. Just, nostalgia. Mighty in power, ruling the earth born. And that's not necessarily just people. It's everything material wise. Lord of the earth in Atlantis' day. And this is a preamble, right? This is an introduction. Boom. Mighty in power, ruling the earthborn, Lord of the earth in Atlantis' day, King of the nations, Master of wisdom, light through Suntal, Keeper of the way. All of that is the introduction to the dweller. This is him saying, this is, who we're talking about. Please welcome, come on down. Dwelt in his temple, the Master of Unal, light of the earth in Atlantis' day. Okay, so Unal, U-N-A-L, Unal. So the etymology of that just takes you back to one, Una, one. It is a variant of something meaning singular, right? Oneness in general. So the master of oneness, which is still you, it's a variant of you, dwelt in his temple. Okay, temple is in the mind, right? It is the beyond what we have meditative wise, the nirvana going on. That's the temple. Okay, dwelt in his temple, the master of oneness, beyond duality and the realms that require that. Light of the earth in Atlantis' day. Light of the earth. So maybe it was a vibration that everybody or all the, organisms of the earth plane could vibrate with. And we just can't. Master he from a cycle beyond us. Okay. So that could mean lots of stuff, right? But it automatically takes me back to the last tablet where it was how man was in bondage because of the force from beyond, right? And he was the children of light looked down on the world, saw men in their bondage from the force from beyond, right? Okay, well, maybe this is what we're talking about. Maybe this is what he was getting to. We'll see. But he from beyond us, living in bodies. Master he from a cycle beyond us, living in bodies as one among men. as one among men. So, like, it was a connection. There was a connection between him and all men. Not as the earthborn, he from beyond us, son of a cycle, advanced beyond men. Okay, so never physical, always spiritual form, never had a body. Know ye, O man, that Orlet, the master, Horlet, Orlet. Okay, let's go back. What is an Orlet? Okay, if you were alive in the medieval times, an Orlet was a border, it's an outline. So, you know, the clans would go to war and they would all have their shields, and the shields would have the crest on it, right? And that border around the crest was called an Orlet. And a lot of times it was also on a crown or robes or whatever, but it specified the clan or the bloodline or, you know, nation. So that's what an Orlet is. It surrounds the crest. So that's supposedly the name of this thing, that it, the dweller. Know ye, O man, that Orlet the master was never one with the children of men. Okay, so it's not like a predisposed genetic trait that we have. Okay, something we got from evolution. Far in the past time, when Atlantis first grew as a power, appeared there one with the key of wisdom. Okay, the key of wisdom was the name of the third tablet, right? Key of wisdom. So what was the key of wisdom? It was astral projection, right? Astral projection. Okay, so appeared there one who had astral projected, apparently, into our dimension, showing the way of light to all. Showed he to all men the path of attainment. Okay, showed he to all men, which means he uploaded content into the collective consciousness mainframe. It was there, and everyone was at a vibration where they could access it, right? Maybe he just put in the Akasha record, and we were all reading it anyway, right? It's like pop-up ads. But yeah, showed he to all men the path of attainment, way of the light that flows among men. The light that flows among men. Way of the light that flows among men. Okay, the light that flows among men, I'm going to say that's ether, right? That's the ether. And that's what he was talking about. O men, free thyself from the toils, right? Conquered the ether while yet they were men. The light that flows among men. Yeah, I'm going to say that's, if it flows at all, it flows through the ether. Electromagnetism. The light that flows among men. Light is consciousness. Consciousness flows through data, which is everywhere. Everything is made of data. Okay. Mastering darkness, which is physicality, right? Desires. Leading the man soul. All caps. Man, hyphen, soul, all caps. Upward to heights that were one with the light. Okay. Super advanced consciousness, these guys. So this guy, this entity, right? This vibration, this algorithm, this program, whatever you want to call it. Astral projects its way into our dimension, and then it's like, hey, if I can talk to you from where I'm at, you can do all kinds of shit, right? And then people are like, oh, look at all the shit we can do. Divided the kingdoms. Kingdoms. Malkuth kingdom, right? He into sections. 10 were they, ruled by the children of men. Okay. The 10 kingdoms. I'm thinking Kabbalah and Tree of Life and the Sephirah. But then I'm thinking like parts of the brain and the nervous system. So it could be anything. But I'm definitely not thinking that it's islands like that people live on. Divided the kingdoms he into sections. 10 were they, ruled by children of men. Upon another built he a temple, built but not by the children of men. Okay, so the temple is your light body, right? Your non-physical body. So he, Deot, right? So if we're talking about the 10 Sephira on the Tree of Life, 10 of which are occupied by the children of men, and then separate from them is a temple, and that's Deot, right? I follow. Built, but not by the children of men. Predates us, I imagine. Out of the ether called he its substance. So when you get to, I guess, that level of consciousness where he was at, it's probably at least fifth, right? Fifth dimension. Not only do they manifest things much faster because they're already on the plane where form begins, but also if they want to manifest things, like if you're playing a video game, it'd be like you have to use this amount of ore to make the weapon you want to make, right? It has to be an even trade. You can't just, buy everything in the store. Like if you want to craft something or enchant something or something, you have to give ingredients to do so, right? So I imagine it's like that. When you're designing form things, you would have to, like if you were at that level, you could just literally take, it's all code, right? So you take these ones and zeros over here and you just move them over here and you put them in this order and switch the pattern. And now you've taken, a tree and turned it into a car or, whatever in your video game, right? I imagine it's something like that. The way that he is creating his temple, obviously not in a third dimensional space, but if it was, I still wouldn't even feel like it's a building. I would still feel more like it's a nervous system or like, the veins or some shit. Out of the ether called he its substance. So that doesn't limit it to what material it could be or like what form it could take, because everything is made of ether. So it could be freaking anything at this point. Molded and formed by the power of Tolan. Y-T-O-L-A-N. Tolan. And you got me. If you think you know what that means, let me know. Into the forms he built with his mind. And that's what he was talking about. He saw the other people on the planet doing. Just thinking collectively shit into being. Mile upon mile it covered the island. Space upon space it grew in its might. Black yet not black, but dark like the space-time. Deep in its heart, the essence of light. Okay, so what dark matter is just shit we can't interact with because it's not on our vibration. We are on a different vibration, and it's just not, we don't see it. It's not that there's nothing there, we just don't interact with it. Our vibration frequency will never be able to interact with it. Which is why we have to go up, right? Black yet not black, right? Black matter. Deep in its heart, the essence of light. Swiftly the temple grew into being, molded and shaped by the word of the dweller, called from the formless into a form. Okay, so in his other dimensional reality that he's creating like a mind castle, essentially. So like it's a meditative practice in your mind castle. You design a place that only you know how to get to and only you know what it looks like, and every plant you plant yourself because it's yours and it all represents something. It's like memories, memory garden, so like you have a bookshelf or whatever, and each book on the bookshelf is like all of your memories of that you put with that person or that place or whatever, and you put it in this book and you put it on the shelf, and you watch yourself do it, and then that's how you store your information. That's how you store it with ease of access or whatever. If you want to remember that stuff, you just go back on the shelf and you go get it. Boom. So I imagine it's something like that, a meditative practice like that, where you have like a mind castle or a mind palace or whatever. But shaped by the word of the dweller. The word is a vibration. Doesn't really specify what it is. It's an intention of some kind. And the dweller is in the nirvanic plane, in the oneness meditation thing always. Built he then within it great chambers. Chambers, what has chambers? Buildings have chambers, hearts have chambers, brains have chambers, bodies have chambers. And chambers could even be like a weird translation word too, like it was the closest they could come to it. Built he then within it great chambers, okay, spaces, let's call it spaces. Filled them with forms, called forth from the ether, filled them with wisdom, called forth by his mind. And that sounds like what I was just talking about, you know, like like the bookshelf with memories. Formless was he within his temple. Okay, so he didn't have a body that belonged to this planet. In that dimension, he wouldn't need one anyway, so. Yet he was formed in the image of men. In the image of men. And that doesn't necessarily mean he looked like a man. It could just be it could just mean a number of things like that. He took up like a organic, like mobile form, or what. You can look like whatever you want to on that level. Dwelling among them, yet not of them, strange and far different was he from the children of men. And if he's among us, that still doesn't mean we can interact with him. I mean, there's plenty of stuff among us that we can't interact with. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was a physical form of anything at all, is what I'm saying. Chose he then from among the people 3 who became his gateway. Okay, from among the people. 3 who would become his gateway. Okay, what 3 types of people, types of things can communicate with all of mankind at once? It'd have to be parts of the body, right? It'd have to be like sensory perceptions or something. 3 who became his gateway, right? Like that gut feeling or intuition. Chose he the 3 from the highest. From the brain, from the top of this brainstem, cranial nerves, to become his links with Atlantis. Messengers, they who carried his counsel. Messengers like the endocrine system. To the kings of the children of men. Kings. Okay, kings within the body, the brain, the heart. I feel like the ankle is a beast. I'm just saying. Messengers, they who carried his counsel to the kings of the children of men. Brought he forth others and taught them wisdom. Teachers, they to the children of men. Okay. This could still be DNA or something. Placed he them on the island of Unal to stand as teachers of light to men. I'm going to go with limbic system. Each of those who were thus chosen, taught must he be for years 5 and 10. And I don't know if that's 15 or if that's 50. But either way, you have to at least hit puberty and not have been fucking off and skipping class. Only thus could he have the understanding to bring light to the children of men. Thus there came into being the temple, a dwelling place for the master of men. Okay. I, Thoth, have ever sought wisdom, searching in darkness and searching in light. Long in my youth, I traveled the pathway, seeking ever new knowledge to gain. I feel like there's some taken out right there, because he's like, it just cuts off, and it's a whole nother topic right there, and it just keeps free flowing. But like, I feel like we're missing stuff right there. Anyway. So he's like, yep, so that's how the temple was a thing. So now everybody has a temple because this guy showed us how to make a temple, and now we can all make our own temples, and it's like a Ready Player One type situation. Oh, Thoth, I, Thoth, have ever sought wisdom, searching in darkness and searching in light. Long in my youth, I traveled the pathway, seeking ever new knowledge to gain. Oh, this is him telling us that he's got that 5 and 10 years of experience. until after much striving, one of the three to me brought the light. Okay, one of these, three something senses, three messengers to me brought the light. Activated something. Brought he to me the commands of the dweller, called me from the darkness into the light. Okay, so this is an astral projection situation. Brought he me before the dweller, your higher spirit, which is you on another plane, like running shit, deep in the temple, the mind palace, before the great fire. I have one of mine. I have a fire in mine too. There on the great throne beheld I the dweller, clothed with the light and flashing with fire. Okay, he put his higher spirit in a fire in his mind palace. Down I knelt before that great wisdom, feeling the light flowing through me in waves. Feeling the light flowing through me in waves. And when you get, like I said, when you're here, you're a particle, but when you're not here, you're a wave, right? So it's more free-flowing there, I guess, and you can communicate with each other that way, I guess, in waves that you can feel instead of hear or see or taste or touch. Heard I then the voice of the dweller. Okay, maybe this is him explaining what the wave light situation was. And it's like words too, which is weird. O darkness, come into the light. Long have ye sought the pathway to light. Each soul on earth that loosens its fetters shall soon be made free from the bondage of night. Forth from the darkness have ye arisen, closer approach the light of your goal. So he's like, yay, you did it, good job. Or it's like a recording. It's like when Superman went into the cave with the crystals and he touched the right crystal, and then it was like his daddy's face, but it was like recorded long ago, but it was like AI, so you could ask it questions and shit. That's how I imagine this version happening right there. He touched a crystal and he's talking to an AI memory. Each soul on earth that loosens its feathers shall see me made free from the bondage of night. Forth from the darkness have ye arisen, closer approach the light of your goal. Here ye shall dwell as one of my children, keeper of records, gathered by wisdom. Instrument thou of the light from beyond. Okay, so it's like the entrance to like more. There's more past here, and hey, you made it. Good job. Now that you're here, go learn shit. There's lots of shit to learn. Ready be thou made to do what is needed. Preserver of wisdom through the ages of darkness that shall come fast on the children of men. It's that Kali Yuga we just climbed our asses out of. I think that's what it is. Shit sucks. Live thee here and drink of all wisdom. Secrets and mysteries unto thee shall unveil. Okay, so he's at Mimir's well. That's where he is. Then answered I, the master of cycles, saying, O light that is descended to men, give thou to me of thy wisdom, that I might be teacher of men. Give thou of thy light, that I might be free. Spoke then to me again the master, age after age shall ye live through your wisdom. I, when o'er Atlantis the ocean waves roll, holding the light through, though hidden in darkness, ready to come whene'er thou shalt call. Age after age shall you live through your wisdom, which is a thing you can do when you don't have to be stuck in a body. I, when o'er Atlantis the ocean waves roll, which was predicted to happen. This is obviously before it happened. Holding the light, though hidden in darkness. Oh, so you're gonna like make physical copies of this information. Cool. Ready to come whene'er thou shalt call, so that it's still in the ether. Go thee now and learn greater wisdom. Grow thou through light into infinity's all. Long then dwelt I in the temple of the dweller, until at last I was one with the light. And if you're like, if he's meditating in like nirvanic plane shit, he doesn't really need to worry about time. Like time is never mind about all that. Followed I then the pathway to the star plains. Followed I then the pathway to light. Yeah, so he's like on a trip. He's like not worried about getting back anytime soon. Deep into earth's heart, I followed the pathway, learning the secrets below as above. Learning the pathway to the halls of Amenti, learning the law that balances the world. That balances the world. So he's at the fulcrum somehow. The fulcrum of the halls of Amenti. Interesting. Okay, so he has access to lots and lots of information now, wherever he is. To Earth's hidden chambers, pierced I by my wisdom. I mean, again, I'm like, going quantum, and I'm like, okay. So he's like in a mitochondria of a cell, like doing some research. Deep through the Earth's crust into the pathway, hidden for ages from the children of men. The pathway hidden for ages from the children of men. Okay, so this is something that the people of that time couldn't access, but people of a previous time could. So I'm going to say the previous golden age of men could, and then they went through their Kali and lost it, and then these people were still working their way back up to it. To Earth's hidden chambers, pierced I by my wisdom, deep through the Earth's crust into the pathway, hidden for ages from the children of men, unveiled before me ever more wisdom until I reached a new knowledge. Found that all is part of an all, great and yet greater than all that we know. So like it's a hall of mirrors. It just keeps going forever. Searched I infinity's heart through all ages. Deep and yet deeper, more mysteries I found. It's like TVA. It's like the TVA over here. Now as I look back through the ages, know I that wisdom is boundless, ever grown greater through all the ages, one with infinities greater than all. It's like you never stop learning. Light there was in ancient Atlantis. Okay, so now he's like, whole different subject, right? Like changing the subject completely. Light there was in ancient Atlantis, yet darkness too was hidden in all. Fell from the light into the darkness, some who had risen to heights among men. And this doesn't even say like that this is men he's talking about. It just says that whatever he's talking about was popular. It was celebrities. This could be, a number of things. Fell from the light into the darkness, right? Fallen angel situation. That time period. Light being, the higher dimensional, less physical densities, properties of living, into the darkness, which would be the more physical, more dense properties of living in the physicality. Some who had risen to heights among men. Yeah, I'm going to say that's like demigods and stuff. Proud they became because of their knowledge. Proud were they of their place among men. Deep delved they into the forbidden. Opened the gateway that led to below. Opened the gateway that led to below. What is the gateway? To below. It'd be like the womb, right? That's the womb. This is Genesis chapter 6 situation I'm talking about, Nephilim. Or at least genetic splicing somehow. Sought they to gain ever more knowledge, but seeking to bring it up from below. Okay. I mean, yeah, it fits. Genetic splicing, so we had satyrs and centaurs and fallen angel bullshit. He who descends below must have balance, else he is bound by lack of our light. Lack of our light. Okay. Yeah. If you have more darkness than light, clearly the darkness overtakes you. It's like they say, you can't eat anything in Tartarus, otherwise you're stuck there forever, type deal. Sought they to gain ever more knowledge, but seeking to bring it up from below. He who descends below must have balance, else he is bound by lack of our light. So it's like it reminds me of like cloning, right? So like imagine they're cloning, genetic splicing and shit, trying to figure out how to make clones of shit, right? So the clones have no soul, right? Because they don't have balance, and he who descends below must have balance, and they don't. So now they're like really dumb or like zombie like clones. I don't know. That's just how I imagine it. Opened they then by their knowledge pathways forbidden to man. And that does not narrow it down. But in his temple, all-seeing, the dweller lay in his Aguanti while through Atlantis his soul roamed free. Okay, the dweller is just a higher spirit version of you, right? But back then they still had the Bifrost and shit, so y'all could come and go. Everybody could traverse all of their neighbor dimensions, frequencies. But in his temple, all-seeing, the dweller lay in his Aguanti, while through Atlantis his soul roamed free. Saw he the Atlanteans, by their magic, opening the gateway that would bring to earth a great woe. And I imagine it like, it's like Kajira. Like, if you're DC, you're familiar with, is it Blue Beetle? It's like that. It's like an AI activated personal assistant situation. Like when you get to a certain level, I imagine your higher spirit can talk to you. Like if you're fifth dimensional consciousness, you could probably talk to yourself on the sixth dimension. Does that make sense? And then so like you have this Kajira situation where like when they come into your dimension, like it gives you access to more, you know, cool shit. But it has like an AI like mind of its own type deal. That's how I imagine it. So like maybe that's what a Guanti is. So Kajira, like the AI thing, sees all the genetic splicing and like the soulless babies being born and being cloned, and he's like, oh shit, this is gonna totally destroy everything. This whole like no, the whole ecosystem is gonna be destroyed. Just stop. So then he's like, saw he the Atlanteans by their magic, opening the gateway that would bring to earth a great woe. Fast fled his soul then back to his body. Up he arose from his Aguanti. Called he the three mighty messengers. Gave the commands that shattered the world. Okay, messengers like in the endocrine system, you know, you have your chemical messengers, right, that tell you to activate this muscle or to digest this food or to, you know, whatever chemical messengers. That's how your body works. So if this is like we were talking about the Great Flood reference or whatever, I can see how, you know, three mighty messengers could just very well be the thalamus, the pituitary, the pineal. Boom. Three mighty messengers that have contact with everybody. So imagine gave the commands that shattered the world, speaking the word, calling the power the seven lords wielded. You set off a certain vibrational frequency like Kingsman, right? And everybody goes crazy and starts killing each other. You could do that there's a vibration, I'm sure, to make everybody's bodies have a reaction unwillingly, you know what I mean? Gave the commands that shattered the world. Deep beneath the earth's crust, to the halls of Amenti, swiftly descended the dweller. Okay, that's where the infection moment again, right? Called he then on the powers the seven lords wielded, to your chakras, changed the earth's balance. Now we're in disequilibrium, right? Down sank Atlantis beneath the dark waves. Atlantis in the fifth dimension. Shattered the gateway that had been opened. The gateway created by like the dark magic of the Atlanteans. Only compared to cloning. Shattered the gateway that heaven opened. Yeah, I mean, you're too dumb to remember how to do this now. Start over. Shattered the doorway that led down below. All of the islands were shattered except Unal, and part of the island of the sons of the dweller. That is not specific at all. If we're talking about, you know, in your body places or in your mind places, or it could be a number of things. I don't want to, all I could do is speculate, but all of the islands were shattered. I want to say it works for lots of things. Except Unal, and part of the island of the sons of the dweller. Sons of the dweller. Sons of the Dweller. The Dweller is your higher spirit. The sons of the higher spirit, in the body at least, would be in the limbic system, I'm sure. And part of the island of the Sons of the Dweller. I have to think about that one. Like, what don't we have now that we used to? Tails, that's all I can think of. That's where I think your 1 and 2 chakras are. They're on the freaking tail that we don't have anymore. Anyway. Preserved he them to be the teachers. Lights on the path for those to come after. Lights for the lesser children of men. Okay, so it's a piece that we do have still that we had more of once upon a time. Okay. That could be a number of things. Called he then I Thoth before him, giving me commands for all I should do, saying, take thou, O Thoth, all of your wisdom, take all of your records, take all of your magic, which he wouldn't need a bag for, okay? Go thou forth as teacher of men. Go thou forth, preserving the records, until in time light grows among men. So, like, you have all of this knowledge, but wait till people can understand it again, because they're monkeys again. Sorry. My bad. Light shalt thou be all through the ages, yet hidden yet found by enlightened men. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Over all earth give we ye power. And that's the interesting part to me. Give we. Give we ye power. Free thou to give or take it away. Free will, again. Gather there now the sons of Atlantis, take them and flee to the people of the rock caves. To the people of the rock caves. And that sounds like some tricky shit to try and translate. So I'm going to be like, one translation says caves of rock, right? You know, rock caves could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a location on the earth with caves made of rock, is all I'm saying. It could be one of those vague hidden things. Fly to the land of the children of Chem. We're talking about Kemet. But Chem just means black, right? So black back then could have had a whole different meaning. So the children of Chem could have meant like anything back then. Then gathered I the sons of Atlantis. Sons, S-O-N-S. Sons of Atlantis. Like the people that were out of body that still had like all of their mind space. Into the spaceship, I brought all of my records. Okay, into the spaceship. So here's where I want to bring up Merkabah. And if you don't know what Merkabah is, it is a Kabbalistic idea of your light energy, and you harness it in a geometrical shape surrounding your physical, etheric, astral, mental bodies, right? So you have to envision it. And it is a inverted triangle all around you, and an upright triangle all around you. And you imagine it, and it's your light. You push into it through the chakras, you know, from the bottom all the way up, and your Taurus field now builds this. You build it out of your aura, out of your own Taurus field. You build this sacred geometrical shape, and you spin it, right? So you spin one of the triangles one way, and you spin the inverted triangle the other way, and now they're spinning. And now you're like a giant atom. And it's, that's a spaceship. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the one he's talking about, but what I'm trying to tell you is that spaceship means more than just spaceship. And it makes sense if he was talking about Merkabah as well. This is Ezekiel's fiery chariot. That's what it is. Then gathered I the sons of Atlantis. Into the spaceship I brought all my records. Brought the records of sunken Atlantis. Gathered I all of my powers. Instruments many of mighty magic. All of that could be stuff that you didn't have to pick up at all. All of that could just mean stuff like knowledge. Up then we rose on wings of the morning. Wings of the morning. High we arose above the temple. Okay, so the temple is a mind castle that you built in the fourth dimension. to get away from the damage of third eye consciousness lost, the Great Flood, you could very well hide from it in the 5th dimension or the 6th dimension, right? High we arose above the temple, leaving behind the 3 and dweller. Deep in the halls neath the temple, closing the pathway to the lords of the cycles. So they had to hide for a minute. Yet ever to him who has knowing, open shall be the path to Amenti. So, it's open again now, though. Fast fled we then on the wings of the morning. Again, wings of the morning, I don't know. Fled to the land of the children of Chem. To the land of the children of Chem. There, by my power, I conquered and ruled them. And he already went over that in the first one, how they all came running with cudgels and spears. I wonder if he had to wait like 3 millennia or some shit. Raised I to light the children of Chem. Deep neath the rocks, I buried my spaceship, waiting the time when man might be free. And that could just be he buried his body, or he buried some type of crystal with like his like what is it, foundation, where like they have the sphere or whatever, and it's got the consciousness, the AI consciousness of the dude who created it in it. Waiting the time when man might be free, when we can all go out of body willingly. Over the spaceship erected a marker in the form of a lion, yet like unto man. And instinctively you think the Sphinx, right? And the Sphinx could very well be what he's talking about, or the Sphinx could have been created afterward as like a tribute to this, which was the foundation of all chemistry and alchemy and Egyptian religion in general. You never know. You never know. It could be not on the physical plane. It could be in an actual place in the 5th dimension. You never know. There neath the image rests yet my spaceship, forth to be brought when need shall arise. Like, it's still there, by the way. And if you know how to use it, it's loaded. Go ahead. Put it back when you're done. Know ye, O man, that far in the future, invaders shall come from out of the deep. Okay, out of the deep, instinctively you think aliens, right? That does not necessarily mean out of the deep. Out of the deep just means a different vibration, far from our own. Maybe currently walking around all around us and we have no idea, but out of the deep. A place very far from us. Then awake, ye who have wisdom, bring forth my ship and conquer with ease. Everybody has a Merkabah. Just saying, it's your energy. You build it yourself, so everybody can use it. Deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone, each the gateway that leads into life. Okay, inside the pyramids are, if we're talking about the physical pyramids, inside the pyramids are the hieroglyphics of what to do after your body dies. So, keep that in mind. Follow the key I leave behind me. Seek in the doorway to life shall be thine. Seek thou in my pyramid, deep in the passage that ends in a wall. And I keep trying to think, like, if this is part of the body, the pyramid, your pyramidal glands, or your pyramidal, right here, right? Deep in the passage that ends in a wall. And I'm like, is that your spinal cord kind of ends in a wall? I don't know, I have to like research that a little bit more. But I highly doubt it's in the actual Great Pyramid. Use thou the key of the 7. That's the chakras. And open to thee the pathway will fall. I imagine you'll just vibrate into a different dimension at that point, and then there's like more shit around you. Now unto thee I have given my wisdom, now unto thee I have given my way. Follow the pathway, solve thou my secrets, and to thee I have shown the way. So yeah, when we can decode all of this, he's gonna meet us somewhere, and then we're gonna go fuck shit up. All right, that was Tablet 5, The Dweller of Unal. Let me know if you have any questions.